Do you know what the NSA is, Sabrina?
No, I do not.
Yes, I know what it is. It's a secret organization for intellectual activity, an intellectual agency for the NASA space program.
Oh my God, I still can't believe you just said that.
Yeah, it's the best organization in best secret intelligence agency in the United States.
You guys know what the NSA is?
The National Surveillance Association.
Ooh, so close.
Do you know what the NSA is, Sabrina?
No, I do not.
Yes. I don't actually.
What is it?
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the NRA.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I was thinking about the NRA. That's my bad. No.
Mikey, you know what the NSA is?
Yeah, National Security Agency.
You guys know what the NSA is up to as far as information gathering?
No.
And do you know what the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution is?
No.
Do you know what the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution is? Do you know what the Bill of Rights to the Constitution is?
No.
Not at all. You're an American citizen, correct?
Yes, I am.
Do you know what the Fourth Amendment is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fourth Amendment is that right to search and procedures, I believe.
The National Security Agency accumulates information on all American citizens, all information good and bad. At some point later on in life, depending on what life path you choose, this information could be used against you, and it's a direct violation of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution.
The Fourth Amendment guarantees the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
Do you know what the Patriot Act is?
I don't really know. I'm new to this country, so.
I think I've heard of it.
The Patriot Act, basically, it's a long law that was initiated after 9/11, and basically, in sum, it says that the government has a right to do whatever it wants as far as surveillance and recording
Yeah, I know that.
every little bit of information about you. Does that bother you at all?
It does. I mean, there's nothing called private here, so everything is being recorded, and they basically want to track everything, what's going on.
You know, you're granted a constitutional right to privacy in this country, right? Yeah. What do you think about that? That the Fourth Amendment's being trampled all over. Does that bother you at all?
Could, but...
Technically, as a democratic republic, that is wrong. They shouldn't have the power to be able to do that because I should have my individual rights. But I don't really have a problem with it per se because I'm not doing anything wrong that would allow me to be like any charges pressed against me, like indicted or taken to jail, incriminated for any reason whatsoever. So I don't really mind it, but I do feel it's wrong. I mean, if you do right by the law, you have nothing to hide, and it wouldn't bother you.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
You know that they have a right to observe virtually any transmission you make over the internet, that they can open your emails and read them. They can monitor your cell phone calls. They can monitor your text messages. You know all that. Does any of that bother you at all?
There's some things I want to keep private. I don't want anyone to see or read or anything like that.
There's a sense of security in it, but at the same time, it's when I feel like they know everything that I'm doing, it really, it really bothers me because, privacy is meant to be private.
Exactly. When did the government become a jealous girlfriend? Emma, honey, who just texted you? Tell me, can I look at your phone? I need to know who you are talking to at all times.
Why does wanting privacy automatically mean a person has something to hide? Maybe people just don't appreciate the fact that the government is essentially Facebook stalking them 24/7.
Do you want your boss to know about that one night in Vegas? Do you want your friends to know about those embarrassing health questions you have to Google?
Does it make you feel any safer?
Not really.
Do you believe that there are terrorists behind every tree and that the government's excuse for using this law is to basically tell you that we're protecting you?
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that, right?
No.
Even with this data mining that we're supposedly doing on every American, the Sonarev boys, the brothers who were the Boston bombers, one of them had a website where he talked about terrorist bombing, and he was also communicating with Muslim extremists, and the Russians had tipped us off, and yet we didn't have any idea he flew back to Chechnya, and we weren't checking up on him. I think sometimes because we've misdirected millions and billions of dollars of resources to looking at Americans instead of targeting our spying on potential terrorists.
The tools for surveillance have never been more powerful, and the threat to our civil liberties has never been greater.
All the searches, the screenings, the cameras, the questions, it's just one more way of reducing your liberty and reminding you that they can with you anytime they want, as long as you put up with it. Which means, of course, anytime they want. Because that's what Americans do now. They're always willing to trade away a little of their freedom in exchange for the feeling, the illusion of security.